Solo fans, today I'll be presenting to you episode 4 of season 3. Legendary events await you. Get your favorite drink ready and enjoy. And thank you for your legendary support for this series, because brothers, this is what motivates us to keep going. And make sure to turn on notifications so you get the recaps as soon as they're released. And the summary. Dear viewer, don't forget to watch the previous episode first because the events are connected. Alright. In the previous episode, we left off at the clash between Pero, the Ant King, and Lich, the leader of the undead. The latter couldn't understand why the Shadow Army was attacking him. They were supposed to be allies. Pero's response was brief. I'm not here to explain. I'm here to kill. So what happened? Let's find out. As expected, Pero plunged his claws into Lich's body and violently extracted his core. The leader of the undead, as soon as he saw it in Pero's hands, realized that his end had come. Without hesitation, Pero crushed it, causing the leader to vanish, and his knights suffered the same fate since they drew their power from him. The members of the Knights Guild were stunned by what had happened. They couldn't believe that a single blow was enough to eliminate Lich and his army. Once again, Pero let out his usual roar, declaring his victory. And for the first time, Gino's shadows purified the gate without him needing to be present with them. Young-soo was literally stunned, and admitted that he had underestimated his ally's strength. At first, he didn't think the ants possessed such overwhelming power. Yuntai said that Jin-Woo no longer even needs to enter the gates at all. His soldiers alone are enough to clear any gate. At that moment, Young-soo remembered that these ants draw their power from Jin-Woo, and he's certain that Jin-Woo commands a large army of shadows. And the number that was with them didn't even reach half of that, which makes Jin-Woo alone stronger than any guild in Korea. So Yuntai suggested merging their guild with Sung Jin-Woo's guild to become one guild. And that way, he would benefit more from his power. But Young-soo suggested cooperation instead of merging, with each guild participating under its own name, which confused Yuntai. I mean, why would Jin-Woo accept such an offer? After all, he's strong and doesn't need anyone's help. So Young-soo told him that even if he's strong, he can't break the law. Yuntai didn't understand what he meant, so Young-soo explained, I forgot that there's a minimum team requirement for raids. Therefore, Jin-Woo needs to recruit outside hunters to be allowed to enter the gates. Yuntai understood what he was getting at, so their guild would make up the required number. And inside, Jin-Woo would take care of everything. But Yuntai's conscience bothered him, because this way, it seemed like they were taking advantage of him. So Young-soo told him, we're supporting him and we'll be a trustworthy team. The scene shifts to the school. Civil defense arrived and began treating the injured. A woman appeared, running through the crowd in the rain. All she wanted was to make sure her son was safe, but unfortunately he didn't survive. The hunters finished their sweep. There were no survivors left inside the school. What happened here was literally a massacre, and the losses were devastating, especially since the victims were just young people, none of them older than 18. Jin-Woo was there, and the president of the Hunters Association told him that the number of survivors was 223 students, 10 of whom were injured. The president apologized and said that what happened today could have been avoided, as statistics confirm a rise in the number of gates appearing in Seoul over the past 6 months. And this isn't happening here only, but all over the world. But on the other hand, the number of hunters who have awakened has also increased. So he feels that the balance is still maintained, as the number of hunters rises whenever the number of monsters increases. When Jin-Woo heard this, he felt uneasy, for if everything is balanced, could a monster as strong as him appear? Then he asked, why did you call me? What is the matter you want to discuss with me? The chairman then took out a handful of papers and said that Japan, America, China, Russia, France, Britain, Germany, and also the Middle East. These are official documents they received from those countries, and their purpose is to contact Jin-Woo. He told him, I'm sure some of them have already contacted you unofficially, referring to Adam. He told him, in truth, we do not have the right to prevent them from contacting you, and we must protect your information as you requested. The final decision is yours, but our country needs you, and we fear we won't be able to keep up with the coming changes if you leave us. At that moment, they arrived at the hospital where Gina was. And before he left, the chairman had one last word. He told him, anything you ask for and we can provide, we won't withhold from you, so please don't leave Korea. Jin-Woo didn't say a word. The chairman put his hand on his head and lamented the state of the country. They had 10 S-rank hunters. 2 of them were killed. The third chose America. So he doesn't want to lose any more hunters. And the association is ready to do everything it can to keep S-rank hunters in the country. He told him, don't hesitate to ask for anything you want. Jin-Woo smiled and asked him, if you're serious about what you said, then will you allow me to enter the gates alone? The chairman didn't expect this request and said the purpose of the minimum requirement law is to protect the hunters, so why do you want to cancel something that's in your favor? At that moment, he remembered the request he had received about establishing a new guild, and asked him, are you the one who made that request? He replied yes. Then he asked, will you allow me or not? The boss was hesitant at first, asking himself if one man could really be as strong as an entire team. But he agreed and told him, "Leave it to me. I'll do whatever it takes to make it happen." The scene shifts to a photo studio. This girl's phone rings and the caller is Eugene. The girl is his cousin and he invited her to join their guild. He told her, "We just need your name with us and you can do whatever you like." But she was surprised by this request and told him, "What are you talking about? I've just arrived in Korea. How did you know I was here?" He said that he considers her like a sister and keeps track of her work schedule. He also said they're missing one member to be able to form a guild. She mocked him and told him, "You're asking me to join a guild that hasn't even been created yet." He told her, "You won't believe who the other person with us is." She asked him, "And who might that be?" The scene shifts to the office. Jin-Woo came to meet the third member of the team. And from his reaction, it's clear that he already knows her. She's a well-known figure on social media. Eugene said that she's an A-rank hunter. And also his cousin, which means getting along with her will be easy. She was also stunned to see Jin-Woo in front of her. She thought Eugene was just lying. She said she was happy to meet him. Jin-Woo asked her, "Are you sure about your decision to join us? All the newspapers will write about you, and what they say might be negative." She replied, "That's better than staying next to Jin-Sung." Jin-Woo doesn't know who this person is, so Eugene told him that this is his older brother who has a bad reputation. But Seong had a request. She wanted to take a picture with Jin-Woo to post it on Instagram. The scene shifts to the main meeting headquarters. They were discussing Jin-Woo's request to enter the gates alone, and this request was rejected. They refused to give the hunter Jin-Woo any special treatment that would set him apart from the other hunters. And they reproached the association for the privileges they were giving him and asked them to explain their position. The president did not deny it. He admitted that they were right and that they were indeed giving the hunter Sung Jin-Woo special treatment and distinguishing him from the other hunters. And he said, "Before I begin my explanation, I have a question for you. We have two teams, one consisting of the hunter Sung Jin-Woo alone, and the other made up of 20 A-rank hunters. So which team would you choose to enter with to clear a gate?" Silence filled the room because the answer was obvious. Then he spoke in a serious tone and said, "Every country is eager to recruit Hunter Jin-Woo. So how can you expect him to stay with us when we refuse to grant even his simplest requests? If you think his request is unreasonable, then you won't find anyone to save you if a new S-rank gate appears." Meanwhile, a picture of Jin-Woo with his new team started trending. The hunteress literally watched it. Her body trembled with jealousy, and her screams could be heard from the street. Meanwhile, Jin-Woo appears standing in front of a gate. Eugene will be accompanying him on this raid, and this is his first time seeing an A-rank gate. Jin-Woo thought to himself, "If you had seen the Busan gate, you would have fainted." Then he told him, "Come on, let's go." This is the first official mission for his new guild. All the journalists wanted to get a statement from him. But as usual, Jin-Woo doesn't like fame or the spotlight. At that moment, Jin Cheol from the Hunters Association appeared and asked Jin-Woo, "Aren't my details supposed to be protected so that no one knows where I am?" He replied, "We are protecting your information, but as for the location of the gate, we can't hide that." Jin-Woo realized that the mistake was his because he had allowed his photos to be posted on Instagram. Eugene felt that they needed at least a mining team to collect the magic crystals. Since he alone wasn't enough, he was told, "My soldiers will help you." The director measured the strength of the soldiers, and most of them were equivalent to a B-rank hunter or higher. He thought to himself, "Everyone who thinks he's getting special treatment is just a fool." Then he took off his jacket. Jin-Woo was surprised by that. The director put on his gear and told him, "The chairman of the association himself ordered me to watch you to make sure you can clear the gates on your own." So Jin-Woo didn't object, and as soon as they entered the gate, Jin-Cheol's expression changed. Literally, the shadow swept through all the monsters. These were supposed to be strong monsters, but in front of the shadow army, they literally looked like nothing. For Beru, this mission was like going on a picnic. He was harvesting heads with ease. The director was stunned by the power of this army to the point that he felt afraid, especially when he saw Igris. He was literally unleashing thunder from his sword with every attack. And the director knows that lightning magic is only used by seasoned mages. At that moment, he realized that Jin-Woo had mastered everything. Defense, offense, magic, summoning, even mining, literally everything. As for Igris, he swiftly took out 5 monsters at once. Jin Cheol said that the power of this summon surpasses that of an A-rank hunter, and he admitted that if he fought him, he would lose. The ants were disposing of the corpses, so Jin-Woo kicked one and told them, "I ordered you not to eat them. Don't you know how much they're worth?" Then he ordered them to start mining. After seeing all this, the director understood why the president insists on giving Jin-Woo permits to do whatever he wants, because he truly deserves it. At that moment, the gate boss appeared, and Sung Jin-Woo dismissed all the attacking shadows. He only left the workers, so the director asked him, "Why did you do that?" "I think the shadows are capable of handling him." Jin-Woo drew his weapon and said, If I rely too much on the shadows, my senses will get dull. And he rushed quickly toward the monster. He climbed its giant body, aiming for its head. And just as expected, the boss was defeated from the very first attack, and the manager was left speechless. The monster's body fell, marking the end of the battle. At that moment, Jin-Woo received a notification that his power had increased. He was now at level 101, and all his skills had also improved. For example, previously, to use the Shadow Exchange skill, he needed 3 hours of rest. But now just 2 hours are enough. Jin-Woo liked that and became excited to raise his level even more so he could reach his mother and sister whenever he wanted. The manager noticed that the monster's skin was indeed thick, and he wondered to himself what kind of weapon Jin-Woo used to cut through that skin. Then he saw something he had never seen before. At the moment of extracting the shadow, a black hand emerged from the corpse, which meant that the process was successful. And Jin-Woo was happy about that, saying that the strength of this shadow was on the same level as Tusk, that giant orc. But he was surprised when he saw that its size was much smaller than its actual size. And he named it Jima. Eugene was happy because everything went smoothly. The gate started to collapse, which meant it was time to leave. But he didn't want to leave this corpse behind, as it was worth a fortune. And outside the gate, all the journalists appeared shocked, because the first one to come out was the giant Tusk carrying the corpse of the gate's boss on his back. Everyone started taking pictures, since Jin-Woo rarely reveals his shadows in public. As for Tusk, he was happy because he had become famous. After him, the director and the rest came out. Jin-Chil was exhausted, and it would take him a long time to process what had happened inside. The president received all the details, and when he heard the whole story, he understood why the director showed signs of fatigue and exhaustion, since a raid like that doesn't happen every day. Jin-Chil said that wasn't a raid, it was a massacre. The president understood what he meant. He realized that the monsters never stood a chance against Jin-Woo in the first place, and he told the director to go and get some rest. Then he stood in front of the window, thinking about what he had just heard, and said that he had underestimated Jin-Woo, that he wasn't just a man as strong as a team, but a man as strong as an entire guild. He said, "That's what I expected when I first saw him. My eyes have never been wrong." The scene shifts to Japan. In the capital, Tokyo, a massive gate appeared, emanating a deep red color. Everyone who saw it was stunned, because this gate was literally terrifying and looked completely unfamiliar. Little by little, its color turned black as if it were a hole in the sky, and it was dubbed the Savage Gate. At the main building, the officials decided to summon all the guilds for an emergency meeting, which meant that the gate was truly dangerous and could cause a global catastrophe. At that moment, members of the Scabbard of Summer Guild arrived. In the past, they were the strongest guild in the country, but they lost 7 S-rank hunters. On Jeju Island, it was a heavy blow for them, which made the other guilds consider exploiting this crisis to surpass them. But even so, they did not lose their prestige, and no one dares to challenge them directly. The meeting began. The government reproached the Fishermen's Association for not taking action until now, and the gate that appeared in Tokyo could break at any moment. Their response was that this gate is of S-rank, and therefore they need an international rank hunter to assist them. As for S-rank hunters alone, they are not enough for this task. They told him that what happened on Jeju Island would also happen with this gate if it was underestimated. They suggested asking for help from the international hunter Thomas Andre, but the Minister of Finance rejected this proposal because the country is already suffering economically due to hiring mercenaries, and it does not have the resources to afford the cost of a hunter like Thomas. He told them that the only solution is to ask for help without compensation. Then the head of the Drawn Sword Guild spoke and told them about a hunter who could help for a reasonable fee, named Yuri Orlov, who specializes in creating barriers. The scene shifts to Korea. Jin-Woo appears in the car, heading toward the office, and he was happy with the new level he reached in the last raid. And he wonders to himself what he will get when he reaches level 102. He parked the car and got out, then noticed someone watching him. It was the hunter Cha. She pretended she didn't see him, so Jin-Woo appeared right in front of her and asked, "Why are you running away?" She became nervous and didn't know what to say. Then she said she came to get her car, which had been parked here since her last visit to the office. Jin-Woo then remembered that he had used Shadow Exchange that day, so he believed her. Then she asked him to spare a few minutes of his time because she had something important to tell him. She wanted to ask him about his relationship with Suyeon. Are they just friends, or is there something more between them? But she couldn't do it. And she said that she had an important message from Hunter Byung regarding his power. Jin-Woo was interested in knowing the content of the message and invited her to talk in the office. So she agreed, and they went up. The office was empty. Only the two of them were there. Jin-Woo made her a cup of coffee while she felt embarrassed to be alone with him. He asked her, "Tell me, how did Hunter Byung leave you that message?" She told him what happened that day on Jeju Island, and about the dream she had when she lost consciousness. The hunter appeared as a shadow and asked her to warn Jin-Woo about his power. and that it could be dangerous for him. He told her, "Even though I lost my human form, I still retain all my memories and consciousness. But what has changed is how I feel about Jin-Woo. I feel that my very existence is to serve him, and strangely enough, I am happy to serve him." So Cha asked him what that meant, and he said that it means his full power is truly terrifying, and he must be aware of this. Before he lost control of it, he was about to tell her an important truth about his army, but that was all she remembered. The scene then shifts directly to inside one of the gates. Jin-Woo appears in his usual routine, clearing monsters, and he was thinking about what the hunter Cha said, and because of her he changed his goal. He became more interested in understanding the nature of his power than in raising his level. Yujin remembered their first mission with Jin-Woo and said that being alone together reminded him of that day. He replied, "Don't talk with your mouth full." So Yujin asked him, "Why don't you let the shadows take care of everything while we use the time to do more important things?" He told him that this wasn't possible, and that he had to keep an eye on the soldiers because most of them were fools. And to himself, he thought that if he stayed farther away, he would earn fewer experience points. Yujin then asked him, "How is your sister?" She went through a terrible ordeal. He said that she needed some time to rest. He also left her with the guard he trusted the most. That's why he was no longer worried about her. But even so, he decided to check on their situation. He used the sensory sharing skill with his shadows to see through them. An old minister from ancient times appeared before him, and he was surprised by that. It turned out that Beru was watching a drama from the era of the Empire and was learning phrases that expressed loyalty to the king. As for his sister, she was sleeping, and Beru was literally standing over her, never leaving her side. At that moment, Jin-Woo understood why Beru acted so strangely whenever he summoned him. As for his mother, she was at the market buying what she needed, and he also placed shadows to monitor the other guilds. Then the scene shifted to a bathroom, and suddenly the huntress Cha appeared. Guys, Jin-Woo got exposed. He's a pervert too. His cheeks turned red as if to convince us that it was his first time. At that moment, Yujin told him about the S-rank gate that appeared in Japan and that they were asking for help from powerful hunters. He asked him, "Did they contact you?" And here we'll stop. Stay tuned for the continuation of the events in the upcoming episodes. Love you guys. Goodbye.